from the station that's on your side. News 12, first at 4 continues.
The search for two men who went missing in Clarksville Lake continues. What officials are saying as the families hold on to hope.
An 18-year-old shot dead, 3 others injured by gun violence in 3 separate shootings in Aiken County over the weekend. Now, those families want answers as investigators look into those shootings. It comes as the summertime approaches, where we typically see an uptick in violence.
Our Brady Trapnell digs deeper into what county leaders are trying to do to curb the violence.
Here at Free and D Boulevard in Aiken County, a 64-year-old woman shot and injured in a shooting on Saturday night after witnesses reported hearing about 9 different gunshots. I spoke with 2 county councilmen today, and they say the sheriff needs to take action. In total, 3 injured and 1 killed in Aiken County by shootings over the weekend. Aiken Public Safety said in a release this afternoon that they're still looking for any info on the murder at Kershaw Street and Barnwell Avenue. On scene today, we saw 1 public safety vehicle making rounds in the area. Councilman Will R. Hightower told me he would like to make it harder to get a gun in the first place. He says it's frankly too easy and there's too many weapons on the streets. And Councilman Andrew Sider said the sheriff's office needs to step up patrols in these areas.
The police presence definitely has to be more in these areas. That's the first thing. You have to have some sort of deterrent. We will do whatever we can to give him the tools that he needs to fight this type of crime.
I reached out to the Aiken County Sheriff's Office for a comment and any more details on these shootings, and they declined to comment. We'll have more from local leaders on News 12 at 6 o'clock. Reporting in Aiken County, Brady Trapnell on your side.
On the national level today, the Supreme Court will make a decision in a case that could change protections for gun carriers. It is the first time in more than 10 years where the court will give a ruling on Second Amendment rights.
The case is in relation to a New York state law that says people can't have a gun outside the home unless they have a reason beyond wanting to protect themselves. The ruling could decide how much protection gun owners have outside of their home.
Crews are still out on Clarksville Lake right now looking for 2 missing men. One we're going to show you on the screen here is Edward Kirk Jr. The other family does not want the victim identified yet. Reports are conflicting about how they wound up in the water, but relatives of one of the victims says one man fell from a boat and his close friend jumped in from another boat to save him. DNR says the search is hard because this water can be anywhere from 30 to 100 feet deep. Coming up here first at 5, we're going to hear from family members still holding on to hope about those missing boaters.
More news ahead, but first, Governor Kemp was in our area today visiting Jefferson County. He announced $150 million will be going towards 4 projects in and around Louisville. The projects will help widen the US 1 bypass from 2 to 4 lanes. Officials hope this is going to help boost the economy and make it easier for trucks carrying freight to navigate the region. 25% of all travelers using the roads are truck drivers. And Kemp says projects like these are only possible because of how good of a condition the state is in financially.
Allowed us to do a lot of creative things with the federal dollars that we're getting that's flowing down when other states are having to use that to make up for lost revenue and do other things. We're able to make generational change and speed projects up by years because of the fiscal shape that our state is in and the financial state that we're in.
Officials from Georgia's Department of Transportation say they've been about 30% more projects in the rural Georgia counties this year compared to last.
AU is opening a new vaccine clinic in South Augusta. If you're still looking to get a shot, you're going to be able to get that at the Diamond Lakes Community Center starting Wednesday. City leaders were there today announcing this new clinic. Commissioner Ben Hassan was first in line to get a shot. AU says their biggest goal now is to get vaccines to areas further away from the heart of downtown.
We wanted to bring this here to focus both on more of a rural population that may be in South Richmond County, it may be in Burke County, it may be heading over to McDuffie and other counties that may be willing to come to Diamond Lakes, but not be able to come all the way to Augusta proper.
That clinic opens on Wednesday, and appointments are still available, so you can grab your slot at augustahealth.org. If you're still looking to get a vaccine, there are a couple of clinics this week. Wednesday, you can get vaccinated at USC Aiken's Student Activity Center from 8 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. Thursday, you can get a shot at Tabernacle Baptist Church from 9 until 5. Also on Thursday, Jefferson County Health Department hosting a clinic at the Jefferson County Emergency Management Building from 8:30 in the morning until 2. You do need an appointment for all of those clinics. We have the links to do that on our website. Scientists at Texas A&M University have found the new strain of COVID. This comes after they found it took 5 weeks for a student to test negative.
The variant is being called BV1, and doctors say it's the first time they've seen this strain. They don't know exactly why the virus lasts in the body so long, but they say it's not typical.
Is it typical for coronavirus in general? No. For most people of the age of the students, we would expect them to have virus inside them for a week to 10 days, 2 weeks at the tops.
Doctors say even though the student continued testing positive for 5 weeks, symptoms were clear in about a week. The CDC says someone could test positive for up to 3 months after infection. The CDC says summer camps can be open, but mask and social distancing are still recommended. They also recommend camps to create separate small groups for children. Campers can be 3 feet from members in their group, but should be 6 feet from other campers and staff members. They say activities should be outdoors whenever possible. Police are still looking for answers after 6 people died in a fiery crash on I-85 in Gwinnett on Saturday. 16 people who were a part of a sober living group were on the way to an addiction meeting before the crash. Right now, they don't know what caused it, but police say it is possible another car could have been involved.
Senator Lindsey Graham doubling down. Sometimes new mothers can have trouble breastfeeding, which means babies don't get the benefits of breast milk.
One North Carolina mom stepped up to help out mothers who are struggling. During the pandemic, she has produced and donated over 60 gallons of breast milk. Cassie Simmons gives us more.
Katie Bannerman knew she wanted to breastfeed her sons from the start, but it wasn't easy.
Right after we got home, we ended up going back to the hospital, and it was difficult when he's hooked up to all the things, to nurse, and so I tried pumping, but him being in the PICU was difficult, and so I ended up giving up when I didn't want to.
The CDC says 60% of mothers stop breastfeeding early for a number of reasons, including problems with lactation.
Most problems just come from lack of education and knowledge for first-time moms, and right now in this pandemic, I would say lack of support, because your family might not be able to come visit and help you out when you have a baby.
When she gave birth to her second son, Bannerman started seeing a lactation consultant, and before she knew it, she was overproducing.
Anytime that you produce more than your baby needs, that's, overproduction, and I found myself pumping 70, 80, 90 ounces a day.
In the middle of a pandemic, Bannerman says she met many mothers eager to breastfeed but couldn't provide. With so much extra milk on her hands, she looked for ways to help.
It was the best feeling in the world, honestly. I think moms, breastfeeding moms, get really attached to our milk, especially if we're an overproducer. And so at first it was, difficult to let go.
But it was worth it. Not only did she help babies, but being a school teacher that's often exposed to childhood illnesses, she may have important antibodies.
The flu, lots of different lower and upper respiratory infections, viral infections, like colds.
Some of those antibodies could even protect from coronavirus, even if the mom is asymptomatic.
If you are asymptomatic when you're pregnant and you've had it and you just don't know it, then breastfeeding your baby is so important, because they're going to get antibodies to COVID.
Bannerman has not tested positive with COVID-19, but if at one point she was asymptomatic, her breast milk may have kept a child from contracting the deadly virus.
She's certainly helping a lot of people there. If you're struggling with producing milk, University Hospital has a breast milk lab. You can also pump and donate extra milk there as well.
To weather now, and we got a little bit of rain over the weekend. Riley, thanks. We have an update on a story for you to pass along. Richmond County deputies now say 44-year-old Lamar Washington has turned himself in. Washington was wanted in connection with an aggravated assault charge. This is an older booking photo of Mr. Washington. We've contacted the sheriff's office for his latest mugshot. Well, investors have made millions trading cryptocurrency, but will it ever become mainstream enough to buy everyday things? Hear what the experts have to say about that. Coming up, first at 4.
A 4-month I-Team investigation uncovers a local county is close to being flat broke.
There's definitely something not right.
We find books and bank accounts that don't add up. An I-Team investigation tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Latest happening near you.
Let's talk about cryptocurrency. It's seen a huge increase in trading and value, but still hasn't broken through with people as a way to buy everyday things.
That's right. Nancy Chen shows us how that trend may be changing.
When baseball recently welcomed back spectators, it marked the start of something new at the home of California's Oakland A's. Fans watched from a season suite paid for with Bitcoin, the first time cryptocurrency was used to buy a Major League Baseball ticket.
We thought starting with the suite sale, which is typically about $65,000 for a year, and Bitcoin was approaching $60,000, we said it's a perfect time to demo this and to see if it has any traction.
Dave Cavill is the team's president.
Given where you are, it makes sense that you're the first professional baseball team to be trying this out.
Our fans are all over the Bay Area and Silicon Valley. I think there's an opportunity down the line where even sponsors could theoretically pay with Bitcoin, and we can use other aspects of cryptocurrency in our business.
And it's not just the A's. Elon Musk recently announced people can use Bitcoin to drive away with a Tesla. This Nashville hotel accepts cryptocurrency for weddings, and even medical services can be paid for with it.
Some people think that it's more private and more secure.
San Francisco Dr. Paul Abramson started accepting Bitcoin about 9 years ago, but it hasn't been easy.
It's kind of hard for us right now to convert it into dollars in an efficient way, and the tax consequences are a little less clear these days. So we're trying to really just sort of limit our exposure to Bitcoin transactions right now.
And cryptocurrency's wild swings in value is keeping many people from jumping on the bandwagon. So it's not clear if use of the digital money will ever become as widespread as dollars and cents. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
Bitcoin hit an all-time high of 63,000 just a couple weeks ago before falling back to about 50,000 per coin. Riley?
Well, the weather's looking beautiful again tomorrow.
Come on in to Davis Appliance and Furniture, where you can find the best deals in town. It's tax time, so when that refund comes in, it's the perfect time to get the furniture you've always wanted. For the brands you trust at the lowest prices, visit us at Davis Appliance and Furniture.
After my wreck, I couldn't work.
Come on in to Davis Appliance and Furniture, where you can find the best deals in town. It's tax time, so when that refund comes in, it's the perfect time to get the furniture you've always wanted. For the brands you trust at the lowest prices, visit us at Davis Appliance and Furniture.
If you love them enough.
Edward Kirk Jr. was a father and a friend. Now his family says he is one of two people who went into Clarksville Lake yesterday and never came back up. Georgia DNR has only released the ages of the voters. However, family members are speaking out. One relative says Edward Kirk Jr. went into the water and never came back up. That's when one of his friends jumped him after him and disappeared. Now, there are different reports, though, about how he ended up in the water. Our Sydney Heiberger is live at Clarksville Lake near the Cherokee boat ramp where she's been all day. And Sydney, what's going on out there now?
Meredith, this effort has been ongoing for more than 24 hours now. I'm actually going to step out of the way so you can zoom in here and see what's going on. There are fewer boats out on the water right now than there were earlier, but still a rescue effort, or recovery effort rather, is still ongoing. Search teams got out here this morning around 7 o'clock. They say they'll be out here until the sun goes down. Columbia County Fire Department's dive team, Georgia DNR game wardens, and sonar operators, and the Lincoln and Columbia County Sheriff's Office, they're all out here searching the water and the shoreline. Even some people out here flying drones in the air. We know conditions on the water yesterday were windy, and the search is tough because this area of the lake, we're told, can be anywhere from 30 to 100 feet deep. DNR says this water right now is about 66 degrees, and while they are calling it a recovery mission, the victims' families are holding on to all the hope they can.
We're in complete shock. You never think that something like this would happen, especially, my little brother. My family, we're completely devastated.
Now, that Cherokee boat ramp and the picnic area nearby, that is all closed to the public right now as crews continue this search effort. But family of Kirk tell me that his good friend is the one who jumped in after the water to save him. We also know Kirk is a father of 4 girls. Tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're telling you more about the man they're searching for.
Just a difficult time for them. Thanks for that, Sydney, as crews continue the search there tonight. As we